Hello everyone and welcome to the level design of the Nyakuza Metro. So first off, I decided to go back here because you don't actually start here once you've beaten this area. Do you know what I usually preach when I go into any stage? Is that when you start a stage, there should be some small intro area that at least gets you used to the themes, that makes sure you've got all the abilities ready that you will need throughout the entire stage. This stage does that really fast. First off, when you come here first, you don't have to pass for this, which by the way, watch Hatkids, she has an animation for this. She actually has an animation for showing the pass, that's so amazing. Anyway, so you can't go through here first because you don't have to pass when you first come in here. So there's nothing really else in here. You can try to jump up places, but you can't jump high enough. There's nothing really to do. If you do cool strats, you can't get up there. So the only thing that you can interact with is this thing, which I hit it and nothing happens, so you just walk into it, BAM! Bounces you up, that's amazing, why don't I have my bat? So, and then you instantly learn, these things, they bounce you up, that's amazing. This thing isn't even moving right now, it's just stationary, so there's nothing really, you don't really think like it's an enemy. Like if it was moving, maybe you think to yourself, oh no, it's an enemy, why did they put me right next to an enemy? This guy's just moving through this place, what? But the fact that it's stationary, I think, makes it a little bit more obvious that it's not an enemy, at least. And you walk into it, and cool stuff happens. You come up here, and you instantly get greeted with some amazing stuff that I will need to ghost to show around some more. First off, virtual cat tuber, Kisunanyai. Then we have the Meow Watch. We have the new delivery service. We have 20% off of something. Maybe a hotel, maybe some statues, maybe a trip to the Skylines. I don't even know. Nyakuza Metro is the only chapter without the battle. That's actually very true. We have a cool clock with 2 hands. That's amazing. We have some signs. This is something that I always said was really good about Had Time. The details in the environments were always really nice. Like especially if you look at the cruise ship. Like I said some bad stuff about the cruise in terms of level design, but one thing I did say is that it was really cool to look at. There were a lot of cool little things strewn around the environment. There was lots of detail. And in here, you start the stage, and instantly you're just blown away with atmosphere, with character. There's so much character to this area, it's amazing. Everything here is themed a certain way. You've got the cat trains, you've got the cat signs on the wall, everything is cat themed, while at the same time just being something cool to look at, and actually making sense within this world. It's like, what? How is there so much cool stuff in this stage already, and you haven't even gone past this first little area? That's amazing. So I got a little cutscene which teleports you down here. I don't like that, but whatever. So then you come up here, and just very naturally, when you jump off, you notice, oh my god, momentum. Oh my god, momentum. You don't even need to use the momentum. This is interesting. You don't even need to use the momentum for anything. You just naturally notice while jumping off, oh, I had a lot of momentum there. That's a bit weird. When I jumped off of this train, I had a lot of momentum moving forwards. That's amazing. So you notice that there's momentum without really needing it, and it allows you to get used to that idea, or at least notice that that idea is really a thing before you even need to use it. So then there's more of this. So now you're like, okay, trains, bumpy things, we're in the metro, let's go. So then you do this, and this is where you really notice, oh my god, the momentum is actually moving me really far. So now that we've really gotten used to it, we're gonna use this guy to get higher, but I can say one thing, you don't need to use the sauce down there to lure the guy, because you can actually use the sauce to lure the guy. But he moves over there on his own accord, and not just that, if you're good at this game, you can actually get up here without using the guy. So that's a thing. I mean, being good at the game is always something that comes in handy from my days as a speedrunner. Everyone should speedrun this game at least once, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. That's basically the message of this. Everyone should speedrun the game at least once. Get some cool skill in your muscles. Anyway, I don't know if it's good or bad that the guy... Actually, it's probably bad that you don't have to lure the guy over here in order to make it happen, because then you might be wondering... This is what happened to me. I was wondering, why is there even the sauce down there? Because the guy was just standing right on top of it when I got there first time, and I thought a bit weird, like, that's a bit weird. But it's okay, because there's gonna be more places later on where we're gonna need that mechanic, but still it's a bit weird. And here we're gonna learn that, oh my god, jumping between these with the momentum is actually not very difficult. It's actually not very easy, I mean. So, this is an act that comes very late in the game. This is an act that you're gonna go to probably after I've beaten every single other act. So, that you now have to do these jumps with momentum between moving trains, where falling down means losing a health, it's totally fine. This is the sort of basic maneuver that you're gonna be doing when the going gets tough. So now this is where you realize, oh my god, they go after me if you've got the thing on here. That's a nice graffiti as well. I like graffiti. In here, not in real life, of course. So now you come to this place. You fall down if you just go down there. So you get on top of the train. You're like, oh, let's ride the train. Woo! And a nice long train ride. And bam, you get absolutely thrown into main station, where you see suddenly everything in front of you. But once again, this is an important thing you need to mention. You get thrown into the stage. You don't get thrown into the center of the stage. You get thrown into the side of the stage. This is extremely important, actually. Not actually, it is really important. This is something that I said in my other level design reviews. Pretty much every single level design review, so this was important. I mentioned this, that it's actually pretty important that you get thrown, oh, I think I didn't even get yet, that you get thrown into the side of a stage and not into the center. Because if you get thrown into the center of a stage, you've got too many options at once. If you get thrown to the center and you can look around in every single direction, you can go anywhere, that's just too much choice. That is too much choice. You can't have that much choice, because it's gonna overwhelm you. And if you go in one direction, you think like, oh my man, if I go in this direction, I'm gonna miss something in the other direction. I don't like that. Too much. Makes you want to kill people. Anyway, so it's good that you come in from the side, because then you've got a bit of an angle. You've got some perspective. You know, okay, I've got some orientation, because this is the side where the entrance is. Having an entrance means you can now orient yourself according to the entrance. If we go to the other side, you can be like, oh, I'm on the other side of where the entrance is. Oh, I'm from the entrance going left. That's really good that you have something to orient yourself, so you don't instantly feel lost. Because if the entrance was in the middle, like, yeah, you can orient yourself towards the middle, but that's not good enough. Because when you go walking in one direction, you can get lost very easily. Also make sure, by the way, speaking about getting lost, these guys tell you where to go next. And I said something similar in the DLC 1, that there is a map of the ship, but it's not that easy to see the map, because the map is like transparent. And even if you can see the map, because you can't zoom in on it really easily, it's actually really hard to make sense of the map. Like, it's a transparent map, and all the rooms are just rectangles that aren't numbered or marked or anything. It's just a bunch of transparent rectangles actually, and it's really difficult to actually see what the stage is like. And it doesn't show connections between rooms either. I don't know. I didn't like that map. So in here they were like, you know, we can actually go and... By the way, welcome to the stream, Miss Allsreal. I'm doing a review right now on the level design. So in this map they instead went, you know, this is going to be like an information booth. And if you talk to them, they're going to be like, hey, if you want a pointer, we can tell you how you can get to a timepiece. I have to admit, I've never actually used that. I've never actually used that mechanic to even test it out what it does. I've just been like, oh cool, that's a cool mechanic, and I didn't actually tell them like, hey, I would like to use it. So I don't know what it does, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what it actually does. But I assume it would just maybe zoom the camera around to the next objective, but one way or another, they are telling you now, okay, if you're lost, you can go to this and this place, which I think is totally fine. This is a very open-ended stage. This stage has one central area with many, many different places to go, and the more passes you have, the many more places you can go, or the more angles you have to go to different places. Like there's like the yellow entrance over here. Then if you have like, I think this the yellow pass, you can go over to the door up there, and you've got a second entrance to the yellow side. And the more metro passes you have, the more entrances you unlock to the same areas you've already been to, and actually getting around becomes not very easy to do effectively. So if you want to go to a specific place, it might be very daunting to find your way there. So it's good that they actually give you the option like, hey, if you are stuck on where to find the next timepiece, it's okay, just come to us. I'm gonna tell you where it is. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. That's what I would think a stage like this should have. Because if you don't need it, then you're just not gonna use it. You don't need to use it. Why should you use it if you don't need it? And if you need it, it gives you a hint. I don't think it instantly shows you the exact path all the way to the timepiece, but I like that it gives you a little hint and doesn't instantly make it trivial. So much for the information. Really like that. The big central area over here. There's something that I noticed about this central area that I only really understood later that maybe could have been more obvious, but I don't know how you would make it more obvious, is that all of these different stations, they are actually, most of them, actually all but the pink and the blue one, which is the other two stations. The green and the yellow stations both are right on top of you. That's the yellow station up there. The yellow station leads to the pink station over there. That's the yellow station up there with a connection to the pink station. And the pink station is like through a wall, like there's a wall between us and the pink station. And then the green station is up there. So yellow station, green station, pink station through a wall over there, and blue station is below us. So if you actually think about this yourself, and I can actually ghost to show this off. You have on one side yellow, on the other side you have green. Then on the other side, over here, you have pink. So that's the three walls. You have the three walls, are three stations. Then the other wall, the fourth wall, is one you break. No, it's the one you come from at the entrance. You have entrance. One wall is one station, another wall is another station. The other wall is the third station, and below you is the fourth station. Which is actually a pretty cool way of ordering all the stations, and you have interconnections between the different stations. At least the three ones on top. I think the blue one doesn't actually connect that well to the other ones. I think there are like one or two places where you can go between them. But at least the other three are fairly well connected. You can go between them at the connection points. Like over here is the green station, links into the pink station. Over here, the green station. I think you can jump down on the yellow station. It might void you out, I'm actually certain. But you can go over here to the yellow station, and from the yellow station, you can go all the way over here to the pink station. But by doing some crafty jumps from here, you can actually sequence break to the green station. So you can actually jump between these, which is pretty cool. And this is also something that, I don't know how you would make it more obvious that this is how the stations are ordered, because it actually helped me quite a lot to get around the stage. It helped me quite a lot to understand how the stage works and how I would move between different parts of the stage by understanding how these stations are layered. I think the color coding is already fine. This over here is yellow, then over there is green, over there is pink, and the underground is marked with blue. So I think the color coding is already fine. I think what I found a bit overwhelming is once you go into one of the stations, not the green one, at least if you go into the yellow station, or if you go into the pink station, it feels like you've left the main station completely and you've gone to a completely separate area, especially with the blue area. As soon as you go into the blue area, it feels like you're in some completely different part of the stage. There's nothing to do with main station anymore, which to some degree is true. But the thing is, with yellow station, you're really just going through a wall. And if you look over here, you can see that there's main station right here. I mean, of course it is. You've just gone through a little path. And if you go over here and circle around, of course you're going to be back at the main station. This is so obvious that of course you're right next to main station the entire time, but this is something that really, I don't know why, it confused me. I don't know why. I don't want to fall back to like, maybe that should just be a good map, because I don't think there should be a good map. But at the same time, I'm wondering, is it even a problem? Is it even a problem that when you first go into the stage, you don't immediately notice how all the stations are laid out? Maybe you don't need to know that. Maybe all the stations, by themselves, are already such good single challenges that you don't need to know how all the stations are interconnected. Maybe you don't need to know how to get from one station to another. Maybe you don't need to know how to get from the main station through a shortcut quicker to any other of these stations. Maybe it's just fine to enter a station, go through the entire challenge, and then beat the challenge, get a timepiece, go back in, do the manhole challenge, and then be done with that station, go to the next station. Because I know that I've just been like, oh, maybe it could have been different, but at the same time I think to myself, I didn't have a problem with it, it was fine. I thought it was good. Like, yeah, like I said, it was a bit awkward not knowing how these stations connected, but at the same time, I didn't have a problem with it. And I think this is a really nice thing on how you can make your design work out in the end, where maybe you don't try to instantly make everything just click. Like, I don't know, I keep going back to Banjo-Kazooie stages, but man, they're so good. If you think about a Banjo-Kazooie stage like Mammoth Mountain, where you just go in and you instantly, you know where stuff is. Maybe you can't see the Stonehenge part because it's behind a wall, but apart from the Stonehenge part, you can see everything just entering the stage. Rusty Bucket Bay, you go in, you see the ship, you see the left wall, you see the right wall, you can kind of see the back wall a bit. You know how big the stage is immediately. You know how big the stage is immediately. Bam! Click Clock Wood. You can go around the tree in like a minute, and then you know everything about the stage, pretty much. So there's something to be said about those stages where you just instantly have a really good idea about the stage, compared to a stage like this where you instantly coming in, you don't have any idea about the stage, because I mean you see the main station, but about 80% of the stage you can't see from here. 80% of the stage you can't see from this place, and you've got no idea what 80% of the stage even looks like or where it is. You just see the entrance to the other part of the stage. So, but at the same time, is it a problem? I don't think it's a problem, actually. I think it's totally fine, because all of these isolated challenges are completely fine on their own. They're totally fine. Apart from the one thing that I'm gonna say about the stage. I said something like this when I talked about the DLC just from the teaser. Like, there was a teaser, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna talk about the teaser. And I said that, hey, just because there's 10 timepieces doesn't mean there's a lot of content. And to be fair, it's a good amount of content. But getting one timepiece here, at least most of the timepieces in here, are faster than timepieces from other chapters. However, there's 10 of them. In other chapters, there's like if you think about Act 2, Battle of the Birds, there's like 5 main chapters, then there's the finale, and then there's 3 rifts. So total, there's still quite a bit of there's still quite a lot of timepieces, but the actual like main timepieces are like 5, and then finale. The others are like rifts. Like, rifts are like small side things. Like, a blue rift is a very small piece of content, but it's like 5 main acts. It's got 5 main acts. Here you've got like 8 main acts, I think. I don't think you can count the intro really as a main act, because it's so quick. So you've got 8 main acts. So you've got more main acts than other chapters in the game. However, all of the individual main acts, they're just shorter. Rush Hour is pretty long. I think Rush Hour is about as long as the other stuff. I think Blue Tunnels is also pretty long. There might be like 1 or 2 other timepieces that's really long. But when you think about it, a timepiece like the yellow one, let me just go for the yellow one. You go through here, okay. Then you go over this train. You circle back around the other train, okay, and you come back into the main area. From the main area, you've got the manhole down here. The manhole isn't very long. It's a fairly quick challenge. So that is already pretty quick. If you've got the pass, you can instantly come from main station over here to the manhole. That's pretty quick. You can get here pretty quick. You can do the entire manhole in like a few minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. Bam, you got the thing down. You don't even need to be a speedrunner. Let's continue going down the main yellow challenge. So go on top of this bouncy boy. Jump between these two. Jump between that. If you're a speedrunner, you can climb up to this and instantly get it. If you're not a speedrunner, you just go around one more time, jump up here, and you've got it. There it is. You just jump between a few trains and you've got it. This is a really quick timepiece. Let's do the green one. The green main one is also really fast. You come up here, you jump up 2 Roombas, come over here. Damn, that's manhole right here. Got the manhole right over here. Bam. Do you know how to speedrun hand time? Yes, I actually used to be the world record holder for any percent for about a week, and I was the first person to beat a hand time in under 1 hour. I'm not kidding, you can look it up on the statistics. But it was a long time ago. I haven't speedrun the game in like 1.5 years, so I'm really rusty. Like, I really haven't speedrun in like 1.5 years. So you can go to the manhole really quickly. Manhole, bam, 2 minutes tops from the main entrance if you're not a speedrunner. If you are a speedrunner, it's like 20 seconds tops. If you want to do the main green timepiece, you just bounce between a few Roombas, bounce between a few more Roombas, bounce between one more Roomba, jump a few platforms, and there it is. Do you see how quick this timepiece is? Even if you're playing this game casually, this timepiece, you get to like 4 minutes or something. It's ridiculous how quick this timepiece is. Or like 3 minutes, like 3 or 4 minutes for this timepiece. Remember how long an act like Murder on the Owl Express took? Or I mean, on the Owl Express took. So compared to that, these timepieces are like really quick. Of course, something like Blue Tunnels takes really long compared to these. But like I said, there are a few really quick timepieces in here, so the actual amount of content is more in line with what an actual other chapter in this game has. It's way more content than the cruise ship. Easily. It's way more content than the cruise ship, as I thought was going to be the case, because this time they're not doing on Death Wish, so since they're not doing Death Wish, they're going to have other stuff to do, right? Don't get distracted during rush hour. Stay alert. That's amazing. So, what I wanted to say, basically what I want to say is, even though there's 10 timepieces in like actual full act and not just in rifts, it's still about the same amount of content, I would say, than another chapter in the game, like chapter 1 through 4. About as much content as any one of those chapters, which is good. So it's like a full new chapter in the amount of content that it has. I really like Leveldesign in here. By the way, if you stay until the end of the video, I'm going to show you a secret about Leveldesign. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Leveldesign? I don't know. I'm going to show you a secret about this thing down here at the very end if you stick to the end. So, now to the individual stations. I'm going to have to say one thing though, even though all of these stations kind of has their own identity, I don't think it's enough of its own identity to make it really its own thing and like stand out. If you were to like remove the colors and like let's say you want to make one of the stations a bit longer, so you create a new section for that station and you show me that section without any coloring, because of course they're all color coded, so you just show me that new station. I'm gonna say like, well, it's probably one of 2, maybe one of 3 stations that it could belong to. Like, I don't think there's... there might be like a few sections in here where it's like, okay, that's definitely a yellow section, that's definitely a green section. But there's plenty of sections in here where I think to myself, yeah, this section could have been any of the station. If I talk about the individual identities, I would say that yellow is about riding on top of trains. So you come in here, you ride on top of the train, and you dodge signs. You jump on top of the train, you dodge some signs. You come in here, you jump on top of the train. First you jump on top of the train in all of these, but in yellow you actually like ride the trains and dodge stuff. So in here you jump on top of the train and you dodge stuff. You dodge and dodge and dodge. And come over here, you dodge some more, you dodge some more, you jump to the other one. You jump between trains all the time and you have to dodge obstacles. That's what I think is the yellow one. And I think the yellow manhole is like that as well, I don't remember. I do know about the mini-boss here, and I also know about the secret stage. Yes, there's a secret stage in here. It sadly doesn't give you a timepiece, but it does give you Wowzer. I also made videos about both the secret stage and the secret boss on my YouTube. I think I was actually the first one who made a video about it on YouTube, or about both the secret stage and the secret boss. I might show that off as well in this video if you want to stay until the end. So yeah. Because by the way, I'm uploading this as a video to YouTube. So that's the yellow identity, I would say. It's shown between trains. But that's not a very strong identity, I think, because you kind of do that everywhere. In the purple section, what's the identity? It's climbing with Dweller Mask. It's climbing. You're not purple, in pink. In pink, you're repeatedly climbing. You're climbing with using the Dweller Mask every now and then. You're doing some more climbing. You use the Dweller Mask some more. You climb, Dweller Mask, Dweller Mask, climb, Dweller Mask, Dweller Mask, climb. That's pink station. Climbing, and Dweller Mask. But of course, there's also trains in there. Have I played Sly Cooper? Sadly I haven't. I might play that someday. I've played most 3D platformers. What's the green ones? Green ones are also climbing, but with Roombas. On green lines, you bounce around Roombas to get all the way to the top. That's the green identity. The green manhole also has some of that stuff as well, even though green manhole is not quite that strong on that. Pink manhole is a completely different thing, which is collecting electric ponds, which is also really cool. Collecting electric ponds is a really cool challenge. This is the thing, I would have much rather there have been more unique challenges like collecting the pink ponds, because that's something that really sticks out. If you think about Nyakuza Metro and you think about all of the different timepieces, that one sticks out like a lot. That one sticks out, bam, and it sticks in your mind. Another one that I think is really cool is Blue Tunnels, because Blue Tunnels is a very cramped space. That's, I think, is what it is about Blue Station. It's like the only station where if I'm ghosting through it, I can't show you a lot, because it's like a lot of cramped stations, a lot of cramped areas you have to go through, and it's a lot of very small maneuvering. And I think this is also why you have places like this, where you have to quickly dodge into these covers right here. It's all about these cramped spaces and having to maneuver your way around with pinpoint accuracy without getting smushed. This is, I think, what the Blue Identity is. Blue Identity is all about these like small tunnel areas. I mean, of course, it's a tunnel area, so yeah. I am indeed German, you're right. I'm not really hiding it very well. Oh my god, Lanos Rabbit's Twitch Prime, thank you so much. And welcome to the, I can't say welcome to the clan, welcome to Clan Nosgoth. Or, yeah, Clan, whatever. Cool, that's in the video now. That's like the Blue Identity. So overall, you could say that all of the individual stations have their own identity. But like I said, the Yellow Identity is just jumping between trains. You kind of do that a bit in all of the places. That's not really a strong identity. You also use Roombas in other places, so the green one is also a strong identity. And don't get me wrong, I don't want it that you like remove that identity from other places. I don't want there to just be trains in yellow. I don't want there to just be Roombas in green and nowhere else. That would be boring. Instead, I think there should have been a bit more focus on like a really cool, unique mechanic. But at the same time, don't worry guys, I'm not stupid. I know that if you're an indie developer or if you're any developer, you can't just be like, yeah, let me just come up with some cool new mechanic that I can just implement in the game. You can't just snip your fingers and have a cool new mechanic. It just doesn't work like that. Like, so I understand they already have this cool stuff. They already have the bouncing Roombas. They already have the trains with cats. Look at the stage. Look at how much stuff they have in the stage already. This stage looks amazing. This stage plays amazingly well. This stage already is amazing. I'm just saying, it's like a 9.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give my rating. If it was like a 9 out of 0.5 out of 10, if it wanted to be a 10 out of 10, I would like want that one crazy cool identity for each of the stations. That's like the one thing that I would have had if I was gonna give it like a 10 out of 10. But without that, it's like a 9 or 9.5 out of 10, because the stage looks, this is like one of the stages that you can look at and you just feel good about yourself. You just look at the stage and you're like, oh my god, did you see how much effort actually went into this? Did you actually look at this? I'm on a high graphics setting, so this is another map that has like high resolution. But so much stuff has went into this map, and not just that. There's secrets in this map as well. They didn't just stick with creating all of this. There's also multiple secrets in this map, of which I'm gonna show you one, or at least, actually, I've made 2 videos about this. If you're watching this on my YouTube, maybe in the recommended videos, I've made videos about this. One is the secret boss that you can access by just jumping on top of this trampoline. There is a secret boss fight in here by jumping onto this trampoline. How do you get on this trampoline legit? Because you can't do it legit. This is how you do it. There's a train here, there's some stuff here. Oh, that's how you do it legit. But yeah, I'm not gonna show you the boss fight. And there's another secret about the secret Hell Train stage. They have like a secret challenge hidden in the stage. I have a video about that somewhere in the recommended videos probably, about the secret Hell Train stage. The fact that they actually went and put a secret stage in here, where you have to actually solve a puzzle that isn't even being shown to you. You have to, it's like secret hunting, and you actually find a secret stage and you get a sticker at the end. It's this sticker. It's actually amazing. It does feel like breaking the law, Hat Kid. So that's absolutely amazing. They've done all of that. So yeah, I think those are like my general thoughts about the map, and I'm going to do another video probably where I talk about the DLC in general, like how everything combined. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that, but not today, because I haven't played online yet. I need to play online to rate that. Online's actually not yet rated. I also like the storyline. I guess I can talk a bit about this game. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do like a separate review. I'm gonna put the review for like the DLC in total in here as well. I like the storyline as well. I mean, story. This game doesn't really care too much about story because why would it? It's a cute platform. It doesn't need a story. But I do like the charm in the stage and in the setting. It's just so cheerful and happy, while at the same time there's like, oh my god, there's like something is wrong because there's like this mafia and people are getting hurt, or cats are getting hurt, I guess. I also like that. Can we just be real? There are some cool cat puns here and there, but let's be grateful that they didn't just completely add cat puns to everything. They didn't just overflow everything with cat puns, and that's great. It's good, but there still are plenty of cat puns. There still are plenty of cat puns here and there. But at least they didn't go completely overboard with it. I really liked it. But you see charms like this. Yeah, it's like reviews very good, but I spilled my tea. And some of these are really funny. And all these guys that keep talking about stuff, and they actually have a lot of stuff to say. The voice acting is really good. You can buy food, and you've got combinations between them. What? How is this a thing? How is there so much cool stuff in here? You can buy food. It didn't even need to be like this. This is a combo, by the way. And you've got this.
A hot drink made from boiling water and leaf.
How is this all of it? How is this all in here? I don't even understand how they added so much to this DLC. How did they add so much to this DLC? It's absolutely incredible. They're also using these 2D images or 2D textures. I forgot what the actual term of this is. There's no room in there. Because it's next to a wall, so you can tell there's no room there. This is actually a 2D texture, but it looks like an actual room in there. They use that a lot in this DLC as well, and it looks really good, actually. You don't even notice most of the time when you look at something that there's actually no room in there. There's a lot of rooms in here that aren't actually rooms. I think this part over here as well, like, there's not actually an elevator in there, which just looks like it. Cube map, I like. Yeah, you're right, this is a cube map. Well, that's some really cool stuff as well. I don't know, I just keep gushing about how much stuff actually is in this DLC. Perfect comfort food. And how they added graffiti for this. I mean, it's the same graffiti as at the start, but they have so many different graffitis as well. This is like a charging station for these Roombas, and at the very end you actually see a Roomba charging, and so it doesn't move and doesn't make sound. I could go on and on and on about this DLC, but this DLC is absolutely amazing. This DLC is absolutely amazing. And I haven't played online yet, but I've seen people play online. I tried playing online. It's not like I didn't want to play online. I tried playing online. It crashed a lot, but I heard it got fixed by now. I tried to play online for like an hour and I got like 20 crashes, but it's fixed by now, I'm pretty certain. At least I heard people say it's fixed, so yeah, I could play it by now. Overall, like I said, apart from like the individual stations not having their own identity, this is an absolutely amazing DLC. Everyone out there should get it if you have this game. And it also is really good for speedrunning. Mr. Landon, you said that you might not be here right now, but you said you're gonna speedrun the game. This is actually part of any percent now, which is really good because any percent used to have included doing the finale skip. You have to do the finale skip, and you have to do a whole bunch of dumb stuff, like you have to do the boss quick kills. I don't like boss quick kills. Other people like them. If you have this DLC, which I think everyone should get because it's so amazing, you do a different route where you actually get a lot of timepieces from this DLC instead. You actually do this DLC instead. So you actually end up getting a lot more timepieces very quickly, and so you don't actually run on 1.0 anymore, you run on the newest version. And that's a really cool thing, because actually you get to play the DLC. You get to play the DLC, and you get to do some. You don't have to deal with some really dumb bugs back in the game, back in the day. I like it. I like it. You don't have to do some. The route has become better, but also more difficult. The route is more difficult, but more enjoyable, and that's the way it should be. So yeah, is there anything else I want to say about this DLC other than it's absolutely amazing? It's like 9.5 out of 10. When the DLC isn't available to you, I'm gonna say this one thing before I end the stream. Not end the stream. End this YouTube video that I was gonna make. If you like Hat in Time, or let me start like this. If you speedrun a video game, usually I would think to myself, if you speedrun a video game, you're gonna play the video game over and over and over again, because in order to get a good run, or in order to get enjoyment out of a speedrun, you're gonna have to get good, you're gonna have to run the game multiple times. You're gonna have to play the game many times, maybe up to 100 times, to like actually get into speedrunning a game. If you play through a video game about 100 times, certainly you enjoy the video game, right? Like certainly you really love the video game if you can play through it 100 times and you still have fun playing the video game. Now, if you have fun playing Hat in Time, if you have so much fun playing Hat in Time that you would play it 100 times, why wouldn't you get the DLC? You know? Like, if you have so much fun that you would speedrun the video game 100 times, why wouldn't you get more content if it's this good? If you love Hat in Time, why wouldn't you get more amazing content, right? I keep repeating it, but it's such a simple point. Like, I know it, like, what if you don't have the DLC available to you and you want to speedrun the game, but the fastest route includes the DLC? Like, but as I just showed, if you speedrun the game, you should get the DLC anyway because you love the game, right? And it's crazy, it's crazy. I play on PC with this. Is it out on Switch even? Or other consoles? I don't even know if it's out on other consoles, it probably is. But yeah, that's my run at the end there on the whole speedrunning thing. Because really, if you're speedrunning a game that you don't like, what are you doing? Stop speedrunning a game you don't like, what the fuck? And if you like the game, get the DLC. It's only like $6. What? It's amazing. It's like literally, if you love this game, there's literally no reason not to buy this. There's absolutely no reason. It costs $6. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, enough talking about the same stuff. I promise to everyone who stuck to the end of this YouTube video, once it gets up on YouTube, of course on stream, it's gonna continue after this. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something cool about this. We meet again, old foe.
Walking, right? Make no mistake. Thanks to you, they won't find. This'll all blow over soon.
I'm not gonna run from you. You don't scare me. Damn! You know what just happened there? That's the secret. You know what just happened there? That was some cold-blooded mierda. Damn! But yeah, that was that. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry, guys. I won't get to see you next time.